to talk about these things. Remember, this is how we work it, all right? If you want to come into the live stream, if you want to be part of the conversation, this is your time to be part of the conversation. I'm going to talk all week. We're in another race week, so I'm going to be talking a lot. This is not my time to really talk. This is your time to talk. Lord Chaos, first in the live chat. Our brother is back. Maria Duncan is second in the live chat. People popping in. Lord Chaos, what's going on? Galacticus is third, last on podium. Our top three, Lord Chaos taking first place, Maria Duncan taking second, and Galactus taking it right there for the third. So we're going to get ready to talk about some of these things. First thing we're going to talk about is not that. All right. First thing we're going to talk about is actually we're going to start off with the disrespect, or maybe not so much disrespect, maybe just an opinion from Kyle Larson in regards to Max Verstappen and about Max not being the better driver. Kyle thinks he's the better driver. He says he's the better all-around driver. He feels like Max Verstappen couldn't come and participate in the Chili Bowl. Max Verstappen couldn't come and do Knoxville, Tennessee. He couldn't do Bristol. He says Max Verstappen he's not a pretty boy. He's a crybaby. He says he's a crybaby. He couldn't take it with rubbing his racing. I want to know what you all think, because I'm telling you, this will be a short show if I have to tell you what I think, okay? Uno in the chat, Dave Quattro in the chat. I want to know what you all think. I said what I think on the other podcast. I'll let you know I think Kyle is a bit in front of himself. I think he's kind of fallen off a little bit there. I don't agree with what he said. I'm just going to tell you, I'm not a Max Verstappen fan. But I can tell you that what Kyle Larson has said, I don't find it to be true. I don't think he's a better driver than Max Verstappen. But this is what we would need to settle this, because we've also heard that Max Verstappen is so good that he could put a Haas or an AlphaTauri on pole. Hasn't done it. We didn't see him do it. And I'm just saying, until we see it done, I'm not going to believe he could do it. And I don't think he could do it. I also do not think that Max Verstappen could have weathered the storm that Lewis Hamilton has throughout the time that Mercedes has made a bum car. And I'm just keeping it real. They made a bum car. I don't think he could have weathered that storm. I don't think Max Verstappen is doing well right now, as it sits that Red Bull is not as dominant week in and week out as we've already shown. He's been off the podium. He hasn't been first. They're not winning as many races in the past 8 races. And now we're about to see what's going to happen come here when we're in the Netherlands, where technically I would think that Max should perform well. It might be another race where they don't. Okay, so I want to know what you all think. I want you to come into the live chat. The live link is in the live chat. It is pinned. If you're not a family member or a subscriber, in the description, there is a live link there. You can click that. It will bring you into the studio. Baraka says, I low-key see what Larson is saying. Baraka, the most objective, legitimate, authority, Red Bull fan in our entire family. I'm bringing him in. I'm bringing Brock in. He's coming in hot. What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Man, nothing much, man. So I'm a little shocked, man. Fuck the clock. Not even start the clock. What are you saying right here? What are you saying right now?
So what I'm coming off on as Larson has some credentials to back it up. Okay. Of course, he's a NASCAR Cup champion, and he's one of the best. He's one of the best right now in the current generation of NASCAR drivers.
Sure, he is number one right now.
People forget he has a Rolex 24, and that is endurance racing. And if you watch the most recent Indy 500, yes, it was in an Aero McLaren, in which, Aero McLaren is a pretty good team. He looked very good in a Indy car. It was an oval,
okay,
but still, another discipline.
Okay.
So far, there's 3 disciplines in which I could walk away and say he did mighty fine on.
Truck.
And Truck Series too.
Okay.
Yeah, but Truck Series, NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity. I'll group them together because he does well in the Xfinity Series too. If you watch some of the Xfinity races too.
Okay.
So I can see where he's coming from, and then also it's like, when you're that good, of course I expect an ego, and I've always said this. If one of the best drivers, if you're not even drivers, if you're one of the top athletes in the world, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have an ego as high as Mount Everest. Oh. There's gonna be some athletes that are gonna have that humbleness, but I don't. 9 times out of 10, I don't believe
brag.
Right. A humble brag, but I don't believe you.
Right.
You're an ego. Behind the scenes, people say, "Oh yeah, he's an egotistical guy," but in the public, he's humble.
Right.
All that stuff. But I can see where Larson is coming from.
Okay.
And I feel like F1 fans kind of took that as a personal dig at F1 drivers, especially Max fans, that took it very personal. And it's like, objectively speaking, he's coming from a place where he could back it up. He's done it in disciplines in which he's done well in.
Right.
So of course he's going to say that. Of course, and he's one of the best drivers currently.
Okay.
For Max, I say is like, I believe that he could do this. He could do the same thing that Larson's doing outside of. Yes, he does sim racing and all that, but he's pretty good. I've seen some of his sim races with his team, with Team Redline. I think that's what they're called. He does pretty good. I want to see him do like in an actual endurance car. Okay. And I'll say this, he's been blue balling a lot of F1 fans into saying like one day he'll race the 24 hours of Le Mans.
That he has.
Everyone wants to see that. I want to see that. I was just like, you know what? Let's take us back to the days in which drivers raced in more than one discipline in a year.
Nice one. Okay.
So it's like you see a lot of like IndyCar drivers. You know, when they have no IndyCar, you see them in the IMSA car. You know, Scott Dixon was Alex Palou.
Matter of fact, didn't he compete in IMSA too?
Yeah,
Larson.
He did. He probably just for the Rolex.
Okay, gotcha.
Just for the Rolex, but because I think he can't really do IMSA that because NASCAR is almost every Sunday of the year.
Right, it's the schedule.
So his scheduling is god awful. I'll say that. So I see where Larson's coming from. I see where F1 fans are coming from. I see where I know today wasn't the best showing if you watched the race today. And I don't blame Larson. I blame I forgot who was in front of him that kind of slew him down. And if you understand the next gen car aerodynamically, once they're compromised, it's in God's hands now. And
God take the wheel.
It's in God's hands now. So yes, he kind of had a poor showing today. I'm not saying
don't look so good.
It didn't look so good, but I do see where he's coming from.
Okay, so you right now you're in agreement with that. So we're gonna keep that because it looks like right now, tonight that's where the debate's gonna be. So I need you to get all your talking points, brother, while we in and out. Because right now Kenny B coming up and he says it's dumb. So I'm about to bring Kenny B on. So you better have all your talking points because Kenny B coming for you, bro. I want to see if you can take that title this time around. All right, so I'm gonna bring Kenny B in. He's saying it's dumb. We already know Brock's gonna be back. That's our brother. He gonna stay active. Let's see what Kenny B has to say because he's saying it's dumb right now. Kenny B coming to the stage. Give me a mic check, brother.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. So you saying this shit dumb?
It's entirely stupid. I mean, why would a NASCAR driver go after Formula 1? You want to go after somebody? Go after Supercar in Australia. Okay, but if you can't do that, then you should at least get an open wheel car. They're two totally different fields, two totally different engineering ideas, two totally different ways of driving. It's just dumb to make that kind of conflict. And what brought this whole thing up, I think, in my opinion, is they spend so much time pumping Verstappen up. Okay? During the Lewis Hamilton championship era, okay, they had to make it happen. And they made it happen in 2021 with that bullshit in Abu Dhabi and that whole season. Okay? Now you've got the old man talking about Max Verstappen could win in a Haas or a Sauber. Dumbest shit in the world. But, okay, I'm going to overlook that. Okay? What's really most important here is until you... what really got this whole thing started in the off season is Red Bull got busted. Okay, they got busted with this whole braking fiasco, and now everybody who put Max Verstappen on this pedestal has to take these licks, and you know what? They deserve
it. They deserve them, bro.
If you think it's bad now, wait till the rest of the season starts back. It's about to get ugly, nasty. Max is about to get real stupid on the track. Watch what I say.
We're about to see.
Let me ask you something.
Go ahead, brother.
We both know Max hates understeer.
Yes.
We both know that they purposely try to engineer their car. Red Bull purposely tries to engineer their car with a with at least a tad bit of oversteer, if not a lot of oversteer, and we know that's why every driver who's come up to team with
teammate
Max,
Albon, Gasly,
has
all of them.
failed, right?
Right.
So if you don't have a driver who can drive with oversteer, they're not going to be able to perform in that car.
Correct.
And they're not going to put a driver who can perform with oversteer like Alonso, like Hamilton, even though he really just likes a car just a little bit forward of neutral.
Right. He's a little bit more balanced. Correct.
He's a lot more balanced.
Right.
But he can drive.
He can still drive it over. Right. He can still drive it on the nose if he needs to. He's got that ability.
Right. So they're never going to put a driver on there who can actually drive a car that Max prefers. Mm-hmm. They're always going to put drivers on there who can't drive the car. And now you've taken his crutch away. What do you see happening? We've been what? Okay. Australian Grand Prix. Funkiest thing happened, didn't it? Had a brake failure on one side.
Right. Poof.
How the hell do you get a brake failure on one side where one side is locked on?
Right.
In order to get that, you have to have a part that fails. So, how does the part fail on one side and not on the other? It's the same part.
Unless it's asymmetric.
Unless it's asymmetrical. Unless the asymmetrical device failed.
Malfunctioned. Right.
Malfunction. And that's why you got the lock brake wheel on one side, and it took FIA a while to figure out what that was all about, but they did. So now what you're looking at? Look, the bottom line issue is, and that's my second shot. I'm not going to let a third one happen. Okay. The bottom line issue is, the old man has shot down any expectations of performance in the Dutch Grand Prix.
Ooh, yeah, true.
Okay. And let's see what happens.
Hey,
if we see Max Verstappen driving like a fucking lunatic, and we see him overshooting fucking turns, the writing is on the wall.
Woo! Kitty B said the shots.
And one final thing.
No, brother, you go. When I do the gunshots, that you making points, brother. You making points.
Adrian Newey built a similar system with the third brake pedal at McLaren.
Indeed.
They just got smarter with it.
Indeed. Yes, that is
and
true.
I don't care what any other commentator says about what the rule was before they just changed it. That shit was still illegal.
Ooh, we about that. Hey, you know you're going to have to battle Barack about this tonight, man.
I don't think so. I think Baraka might. You think
Baraka just said that he can see where Kyle Larson is coming from in regards to his comments about Formula One and NASCAR and about Max Verstappen.
It's built on this shit. Okay, it's built on the stuff I just got done saying.
Right, so you're gonna have to hold it.
His ass up. Max Verstappen has such an aggressive personality that he forces his opinion on every fucking body else, and he did it to Norris, and Norris bowed down to that bullshit.
Ooh, that is true, because he came out talking different.
He
said, Max need to come talk to me. He need to come apologize to me. Then he said, "Oh, Max don't need to apologize." He said, "You're right." He punked him up. Something happened in there. All right, Kenny B, hold tight, brother. Hold tight. Don't let it all loose. Kenny B is hot tonight.
I'm holding back.
He is hot tonight.
I'm holding back.
Kenny B is hot. So already, listen, there are some points that Kenny B made that I know Baraka may have some rebuttals for. I don't know if Baraka would agree with Kenny B, as I do with Kenny B, that Max Verstappen has been coddled majority of his career. Baraka does see where Kyle Larson is coming from, and it's oddly funny is I don't think Kenny B agrees with what Kyle Larson said in regards to Formula One, but Baraka has some very good points as far as Kyle's disciplines and the multitude of different platforms he's driven in. So it's almost like this. I give this scenario or this analogy in the Michael Jordan, LeBron James debate. I always say when it comes to this, and I'm compartmentalizing this, and we could debate other stuff about Michael Jordan and LeBron James and all that, but listen, you need to understand Michael Jordan didn't win shit for a long time, okay? It was several years he was getting booted. But I say this, LeBron James went to multiple teams and franchises, and when he got there, he brought championships. Championships followed as he got on those rosters. Michael Jordan never did it outside of Chicago, never did it outside the system of players that was there. And when he did get an opportunity with the Wizards, it was absolutely horrible. And since then, Michael Jordan has never been able to show us that he's been able to lay his greatness on a MotoGP team, on a stock car team, or a basketball team. And we see that greatness transfer over to that. Michael Jordan's never showed us that. So what Baraka is saying, although Kyle Larson is no Michael Jordan or no LeBron James, he is first right now in the championship standing. So is Max Verstappen. He does have a championship. So does Max Verstappen. But what he does have that Max Verstappen doesn't have is participating and competing in a lot of these disciplines. So does that give Kyle Larson the validity, the valid to say what he said and for people to take it as Baraka has and says, there's a point to that. That is what we have. So that will be definitely in the debate tonight. So both of these brothers need to get their talking points together. That's definitely going to be up for debate tonight. We're definitely going to be bringing that up on live. So Baraka and Kenny B will be going at it again on that. I already have that written down. There's going to be 3 rounds. You let me know in the live chat what else it is that you would like to see Kenny B and Baraka debate about as we're going through the rest of this talk. And Kenny B brings up another good point. He doesn't care. That car was illegal. And so now I have to ask a lot of people, when hasn't there been some type of illegal situation involving Red Bull winning? 2021, as Kenny B just said, we know that was a crap show. That was out of there. Okay, so don't try to act like it wasn't. You got to know that. 2022, the cost cap situation happened. So everybody's like it's an illegal car. You spent way more money than your competitors. You breached through the cost cap. Now you got a competitive car. 2023, saying it's just a trickle-down effect, although I credit Max Verstappen a bit more for that championship than not. But now here we are, 2024. We're finding out you got an illegal braking system. And they need to put it all on Front Street. And Baraka brought up a good point. And I had a picture, and I showed you all black smoke popping out one side. They figured it out. This is a whole situation. And like Baraka said, you just got to follow the breadcrumbs. At once, McLaren there with that whole 3-pedal situation, here it is now, able to update the technology in such a way that it performs better, more automated, more internal, without external forces being needed from the driver. And bada bang, bada boom. Now we have another situation. And just after that, I showed you all the graph. I showed you the graph, did I not? That this situation, since it has occurred, Red Bull has been on a bad dip, and they have not recovered from that dip. I showed you all this. I showed you. And if you didn't see it, I tell you what, I'll bring it up again. I'll bring it up again for you so you can see it. And I'm going to show you this graph because I made this graph and we brought it up before just to show you all exactly the time points, the moments that things have happened with Red Bull and how they've been on a downward trajectory. And I think that that's really important to see because it's legitimate. Sometimes you got to put things on a graph so you can see what's going on and you can understand how to look back at it. We got Matt coming in for a second, and I'm going to bring this graph up real quick while he's coming in so we can have that. And then we'll bring Matt in because Matt hasn't been on F1 Minute since we've been back, and I'm very excited to see or hear what he has to say. So we're going to bring this graph up for you real quick. Then I'm going to bring Matt on. And then we're going to see what all the extra hoopla is about, because this episode might get crazy. I'm just letting you know right now, this episode actually might get pretty crazy. So let me see if I can find that real quick. We got quote cards. Let's see. Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. I'm going to find it, people. I'm going to find it. Matter of fact, I tell you what, while I'm looking for it, let me bring Matt in. Matt, brother, what's going on, man? Welcome back to F1 Minute, bro.
It's been a minute.
Been a minute, man. How you feeling, man? How you feeling?
Been working, man. I had to take a little bit of time. Got a new job and stuff, so I had to focus on that for a bit, man.
Hey,
I'm gonna be getting back to it.
Okay.
Once I get this laptop fixed and everything.
Okay. How you feeling, man? How you feeling about this situation? This topic we got going right here, right now.
So I'm gonna touch on both of them, right?
Okay.
So Kyle Larson, I'm gonna touch on that, and then we're gonna touch on Red Bull real quick.
All right.
Kyle Larson, what is wrong with you? NASCAR, like there's no comparison. And the thing about it is I did my homework just like you did. Let me go see what this brother has done that's making him talk sideways out of his neck like this.
Greasy.
And it's nothing that makes me want to go, oh yeah, maybe. Possibly.
Oh,
No, nothing at all.
okay. Nothing at
Nothing at
all.
all. There's to me personally, there's nothing he brings to the table in an open wheel format that's not making a left turn and a left turn and a left turn
Okay.
that makes me feel as though he can compete with any of the F1 drivers on the grid.
Damn.
I'll take Yuki and put him up against him in the same equipment. Yuki
Woo.
would probably dust him off. Promise you.
Like Yuki will smoke his boots.
Yeah, for real. Because to be honest, Yuki's one of my favorites. I don't feel like
He
can
is.
get
I like
enough
Yuki.
shine.
I like
I don't feel like I feel like he need to get out of that Red Bull environment. And
Okay.
that's a good way to transition over to this Red Bull.
What you got?
Red Bull got caught cheating again. How many times does Red Bull have to get caught cheating before they get hit with a big enough fine and a ban? It makes zero sense to me, but it just goes to show. I will say I'll give the FIA that credit. When it comes to something new and inventive,
Okay.
they real good at finding it, regardless of the team. They're good at finding it. Now, whether or not they hand out a substantial penalty,
It's something else.
due to say, because Mercedes had the same thing with DAS. That was
They did.
craziness. I loved it, but they let them finish the season with it.
Yeah, because it was no kind of rule that really embodied that.
No, not at all.
Right.
Not
Just
at
like
all.
the
And
wheel.
it was really just Christian over exaggerated. You know, it just seems crazy that the wheel just pulls back and it's hydraulics, man. You know how that stuff fits together. It's not gonna just rip up out of the car randomly
Correct.
for no reason. And if you know it does it, you know how much to pull on it and push on it. And Lewis is a skilled enough driver, and Valtteri Bottas.
Voucher,
Because we're not gonna make it seem like Valtteri wasn't in that same using that same DOS system and everything like that, crushing people. So Red Bull, I thought it was funny when they had that fire as well. I was like, what? That's odd. That's only smoking on one side of the car. That's a weird situation. And then the little
Correct.
comments from Max, well, we know why it's not here and why it's not
Right,
performing.
right.
I was like, what do you know, Max?
No, Max.
You know what happened. It sounds like they took something away that y'all maybe possibly shouldn't have had or had to change. And then it slowly crept out here that, the new technical regs. What's that? And now finally it's out. They had asymmetrical braking, which makes a world of difference. Everybody on the grid's been struggling, trying to find where are they finding the pace?
Right.
How are they getting these aerodynamics to act like this? It's craziness. He's so planted through the corners. And you can tell Lewis knew something was up. Because the way he would look at that car, and look at the back of it, he's just like, I don't understand how that car is so planted like that, going around these turns. It's just not natural. But he just had to tip hats off because he can't go through that car.
He didn't have anything valid to say something's wrong. He just was crediting them to say, hey, they got one hell of a design. Right.
Exactly. But I mean, now it's cat's out the bag now. We see Max why you was able to hold that speed through the corners like that because you had asymmetrical braking going on, braking on the outside wheel to keep your car from, doing the oversteer, understeer really bad like everybody else. So good luck, Max. Your season's fried. You're on the burner. Baraka can come back at me if you want to. We'll see what the rest of this play. If you look at the points, the last however many races, Lewis is outscoring him.
Yeah, I think Lewis is down by 1 point. I think it's like 117 and 116. Right.
Lando on that ass.
He is.
Granted, Lando lost some credit from me this season, but he was gonna be one of my. Matter of fact, I'm a little bit ashamed that I have a McLaren shirt on the way right now. But Piastri is saving it. Piastri is my saving grace. Pia is a baller, bro. That's Kimi Räikkönen incarnate. That's who that is.
Man, bro. He the ice.
That's exactly who that is. He done came back on the grid, man.
Right. He done reincarnated himself in Piastri.
Yeah, he did. But man, this season for Red Bull is pretty much cooked.
Okay, you know what we might do tonight, brother? We might actually have a face-off between you and Baraka, and the winner of that will battle Kenny B tonight at the end of the show. So I need
I'm
you to
with
stay. I need you to stay with us, man. I need you to stay with us.
I'm with it. I'm gonna be
all right,
around.
that's a bet. So y'all, we got a 3-way fight tonight. We're gonna have Baraka and Matt first. Whoever wins out of that debate, you're gonna judge it. You're gonna be able to vote on the poll. They will battle Kenny B, who is coming up next. Matt, stay right there. We got other topics. I want to see you back on, brother. It's good to see you.
All right, good to see you, bro.
Here we go. Kenny B says Red Bull will not be able to repeat this. Let's see what Kenny B is talking about. Kenny B, tell us what is it particularly that you were talking about, what they will not be able to repeat.
First of all, as much as I'm disappointed with MJ, don't y'all be using his name in vain.
I said don't be using his name.
I've been disappointed with him since that crap he pulled with the rapper where he wouldn't sign his jersey after he spent tens of thousands of dollars on it. I'm like, who do you think you are?
That was crazy. Crazy.
But that being said, MJ's the man. He didn't need to do it with another team. He understood the recipe was for winning. Then, when you are a dominant player, you need help. And he gave
I'm glad you said that.
money. He gave up the money to get the help.
I'm glad.
And Tom Brady bought that shit, hook, line, and sinker, regurgitated the shit, and pulled off 7 Super Bowls. So don't nobody use MJ's name in vain.
This is what I'm gonna say. What gives you a pass right there with me is you admitted that he needed help. Because a lot of people that try to debate this MJ shit act like MJ could have did it by himself, and they forget MJ wasn't doing shit before he got that team. MJ was not winning. He was getting booted out the first round if he even made it to the first round, bro.
With different versions of the team, because when Grant felt unappreciated and left, he had to do it again, and he did.
But he didn't do it before that for several seasons.
Who does?
But that's what I'm saying. People try to act like that never happened. You got to respect
people. You act like it never happened. It's supposed to happen like that. This shit ain't supposed to be easy.
It's supposed to happen like that, but MJ ignored it. Right. MJ people, a lot of MJ people ignore that, bro. A lot of MJ people, you right now are objective.
I ain't an MJ person. I just recognize game, man. He had the fucking game.
Respect that. I respect that. I completely respect that. Now I respect that, but I can't cooperate with delusional bullshit. You know what I'm saying? People act like it was 6 straight.
How does that conversation about MJ apply to this?
What I was saying is, it's still true. MJ did it there in that context. I give LeBron James credit for doing it in different franchises. MJ never did that. I'm not saying he had to, but I'm saying that still is a nice notch on LeBron's belt that he was able to do it in different teams, different locations, different people. MJ did it there with the Bulls. You got to give LeBron his credit, bro. You got to give LeBron his credit.
LeBron was drafted with Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Did he stay there?
No, he didn't. Why should he? They ain't respect that man. Why should they? Why should he?
Don't talk out of both sides of your mouth.
I'm saying.
No. Don't talk out of both sides of your mouth at the same time.
Side. Why should he?
Could not make it happen there. Okay. Cleveland could not get what he wanted Cleveland to get unless they could get draft picks. And as long as he was there, they were never going to look. This is F1.
That's
man.
True, but listen. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Though. Listen to this point. This is what I'm saying. You missing it. People that admit what you just admitted, I got no problem. People that act like MJ did it from the time he started, that's where I got the problem. They act like the first few years didn't exist. You acknowledge that. So I'm not debating that. I can't debate that because that's real shit. So it's not MJ's career, it's the delusional shit that people, that's what it is. Exactly.
Let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Could LeBron have done what MJ did, who did it before him?
Facts.
Could he have done that by staying in Cleveland?
I don't think so.
Exactly my point.
I don't think so. I agree with that. Why
are people comparing what LeBron did and giving him more cachet when he left knowing that he could not bring a championship to unless they could get some help? And the only way they could get some help was if he was gone, because as long as he was there, they were going to always be in the playoffs. They were always going to get bounced, and then they were never going to get a top draft pick.
I get. You know what? We gonna have a LeBron Jordan debate, and we gonna have that on because honestly, I agree with you. I agree with you. The game. I agree with you on the game part, but like I said, it's not so much the Michael Jordan career I disagree with. It's the people that act as if Michael Jordan did it from the start and everything was perfect. It's not true.
The one thing I learned about people is don't listen to them because they full of shit.
All right, so how you feel about Red Bull not repeating this?
All right, so
hey man, Kenny B, I gotta tell you something, brother. Hey man,
yeah,
you be on your shit, bro. I fucks with you, bro. You know why? I fucks with you because you can take a debate and not get sensitive about it, bro. It's a lot of people out here that have debates and then they get sensitive and they don't want to talk to you again.
It's not how you say it; it's what you say. Everybody wants to say how. Oh, you did that all wrong. What difference does it make how I said it? Facts are facts.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Because there's some emotional people like they won't talk to you again after you have a debate with them. They get in their feelings.
Yeah, well, too bad for them. Because I'm about to fuck their feelings up. Wrong motherfucker. Wrong motherfucker, okay? But
bro, you got it. Go ahead.
Back on this, okay? Kyle Larson, fucking idiot. With an idiot fucking move. Okay? He saw blood in the water and he went after it.
Facts.
I give him all the credit in the world because what he did was he drew focus to some real shit. Max Verstappen has been sitting there for the last, 6 or 8 races, bashing the fuck out of his team and the engineers about the oversteer in his car. He can't get the car to turn, all this and all of that, right? It's been all over the radio. It's been all over the team radio.
It has.
Okay? All because they got fucking busted with an illegal system, and if we're wrong, we're going to start seeing that in the next 10 races, aren't we?
We are.
But if we're right, what are we going to see? The same bullshit we saw for the last 8 to 10 races with him desperately trying to pull off fucking moves that everybody else has been trying to do with their car on equal level and hasn't been able to do. So how in the hell is he this fucking spectacular driver that these motherfuckers have been posting him up to be when you got an advantage over everybody else? And do not compare it to DOS. They developed DOS in the open with the FIA, knew the fucking shit was legal when they put it on the fucking car. Because the first time they tried to do it, they tried to do it with a lever. And that's when the FIA busted them and said, nah, that's not going to work. And that's when they came up with the idea of putting it in the steering column. Because now it's not a lever, it's part of the steering. And only steering situations, steering instruments overrule the suspension rules that govern what you can and cannot do as far as changing anything in the suspension in a car without having to pull it into the garage and change components. That was the rule. And that's why the FIA did not stop them from bringing it to the track in preseason testing, because they knew the one rule that they couldn't get past was the fact that this was part of the steering. DOS was part of the steering component. It was built into the steering column, and that's why they had to wait till the end of the year to change the fucking rules. They couldn't change it mid-season because it would have looked too fucking bad on them. So anybody who tries to compare this bullshit right here to DOS is full of shit.
Oh, can it be hold tight, brother? We got Baraka coming up. Hey, man, it's going to be 2 people that got to battle it out before they get
let me say one thing.
Go ahead.
I am not somebody. Please, everybody, do not be afraid to come on here and speak your piece.
Thank you, bro.
Please.
Thank you.
I only come on here so much because no one is willing to
step up.
Please step up, everybody. Please get me up off here. Don't be afraid.
Thank you, Kenny B. Yo, Kenny B is spitting facts, y'all. It is, you know what I appreciate about Kenny B, Baraka, Matt. I appreciate the fact that I take this time so we can have this floor space together and you all can be on here saying what and how you feel about what's going on in Formula One, because other people not doing this shit. Other people are not trying to share their platform with their community so your opinions can be heard, so your faces can be seen, because it's a lot of quarterly keyboard warriors that get in our comment section and talk a lot of shit, but don't step up and don't come on here and voice it out. Baraka, got heart. Kenny B got heart. Matt got heart. People that come up and say what you got to say here, and in such a way that these brothers and sisters speak. Maria Duncan, no. All of them. I'm just saying they need to see this. People need to see a community that vibes together in real time. I just don't want them to see y'all in the comment section. Barack, I'm about to bring you up real quick. I'm about to show this graph. So if you see this graph right now, if you see the red digit right here is Horner when his news comes out, Red Bull takes a dip. The yellow one is when Newey announces that he is going to be leaving the team. Red Bull again take a dip, never return to it. The blue dip is when the technical regulation kicked in about the asymmetric braking, a big dip, and they never recover. There is a downward trend happening with Red Bull, and like Kenny B said, the asymmetric braking we are about to see in real time. Can they bounce back? Will they be able to develop something else? Will Max Verstappen be able to win with an ailing car like Lewis Hamilton has been struggling with for the past 3 years? Or are we going to see the biggest deficit overcome by Lando Norris at McLaren to win a driver's championship? I don't know what's going to happen. That might be something up. Baraka, I'm bringing you to the stage, my brother. What do you got to say, brother, man? What you got for me? Yo, man, hey, man, let me say this before you start.
Yeah.
Kenny B with that heat tonight, brother. So listen, you got to battle Matt first. Whoever went out of that, go to Kenny B. But y'all on y'all shit right now. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but you see more on your shit too, man, because you actually got some points tonight. What you got to say, bro?
First off, before I don't know where the asymmetric. I never defended Red Bull about the asymmetric braking and all that. I don't know where that news came from. So
got you.
So I just want to.
Said that ain't me.
That I didn't say anything.
Got you.
I didn't say it. I say this: if they got caught, then Zandvoort is probably going to be. I think Zandvoort, and I think after that is what, Imola, I believe.
I think so. I can look it up for you. Go ahead. I'll look it up for you.
Though I think these next 3 races, in my opinion, I should see what Red Bull could cook up, or let's see if said allegations were true.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep the same energy I had back in 2019 with Ferrari. I know we didn't have any F1 minute back then, but when there were some suspicions.
You got Zandvoort, and then you got Italy.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got but it's Monza. It's Monza.
Monza. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's Monza. Okay. So I'm just like what happened in 2019 when Ferrari were cooking up. They were winning. Seb and Charles were doing what, according to the Italians, the Lord's work. All right. And then all of a sudden, a little birdie. I'm not gonna do. I have my reservations for him, but a little birdie at Red Bull, who's married to a Spice Girl, said, "Hey, what happens if a team." Or allegedly, a team had a little sensor that can pinpoint when, the fuel flow would not be recorded and all that. Like, a what-if scenario. The FI is like, interesting. We're going to Ferrari. It's like, and Little Birdie said, because, Little Birdie said this. I ain't naming any names.
Right.
And I know there's more than one red team.
Yeah.
But let's just say there's a team in red, based out of Italy.
You don't say.
With a monogased and German driver at the time.
Who could that be?
I'm just saying. That's what said TP from said team with marrying a said Spice Girl said.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden the next race after this, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the next race after that, there was word spread, and then there was a regulation change.
It was.
And then all of a sudden, said team dressed in all red. based out of Italy, with the amount of gas and German driver, started stinking up the gaff, as the English would say. Started, or as I would say, started laying a massive egg.
Right. Took a shit.
Yeah. Now, the reason I bring that up is because I feel like this is spit for spit with Red Bull.
Okay.
I don't know who snitched.
Got you.
Honestly, I don't really care who snitched. But let's just say said team with a subpar energy drink, because I rep this all day.
Okay.
With various of flavors, who has a Mexican and Dutch driver who's going through their own little turmoil because said English aerodynamic designer is going to another team in Silverstone dressed in green, and said Karen is going through his own little issues that I don't want to talk about. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. With a said Dutch driver who is kind of losing patience with the way that things are being ran behind the scenes. They get Australia, one side of the brakes starts burning, and everyone's like, interesting, but everyone thought it was a one-off.
Right.
But then said news comes up, and everyone's now looking back to Australia. It's like,
looking kind of crazy.
was that the issue this whole time? So if they got busted, they got busted. I can't say anything. I can't. Again, Max leave, I leave. I'm not. That means that Red Bull side of me is done unless they employ Yuki. And even if Max leave, I have some ties because I love Yuki.
Okay.
So that being said, these next 3 races, Red Bull Racing, Oracle Red Bull Racing, powered by a Honda/Red Bull powertrain power unit, is on Baraka Guichero's official fraud watch list.
Oh, snap. Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, man. Hell no. This crazy. They on your fraud list, bro?
Yes. You know that meme with Dr. Umar looking at the camera with I'm looking at them. Because now with said allegations, I'm not going to say they're concrete fact because neither team, neither organization nor team said anything about this. Other than there's a regulation change.
Damn. All right, bro. Hey,
until I'm proven otherwise, I'm going to treat it like I'm treating Ferrari.
Okay.
I'm having a close microscope on them for the time being.
Oh my gosh, Baraka coming with some different type thing. Baraka says Red Bull is on fraud watch. Right now, they on fraud watch. I'm telling you, listen, I'm going to tell y'all again, Matt is getting ready to come up. I'm about to bring Matt in. Don't forget, the call link is in the live chat and it's in the description. Matt says 0.3 seconds equals 16.5. Suspicious, Matt says. Brother, tell us what's suspicious, brother, man.
What's up, my brothers? So, Baraka, he done made me bring out my my work booklet here.
Shit.
Oh my God. Red Bull should have been on your fraud list, bro. They are permanent they are permanent residents in the fraud house. You know how you every neighborhood got the trap house that you just know where it is?
Yo, didn't know
that's Red Bull. That's Red Bull.
Oh, damn.
And also, it's gonna be more than 3 races, my brother. You need to strap in. And then Ferrari, going tit for tat with Ferrari is Mercedes and Ferrari. But for one, get back in that sort of caliber is just it's not tasteful at all. It's just not tasteful at all. But it goes to show how the organization is anyway. With Christian Horner anyway, it's just distasteful all around.
It is.
So it fit the book.
It
the
does.
Little birdie that you were talking about, they ain't talked about some of these things. We about to tell you right quick with that. But also, before I get on the little birdie real quick, Seb and Charles.
Ooh, yes, Seb and Charles, Monegas, German.
That was a terrible matchup.
Damn.
Seb, first of all, Seb was not going to bow out to Charles ever in life. You talking about a 4-time world champion bowing down to Charles, his rookie teammate, and the fact that they made it
was that car.
None. And the fact that they made it very apparent that they were not only steering the car towards Charles, also signing him for what was it? 5 year? The first time they've ever done that in Ferrari history? Multi-year?
Multi-year
contract, the
contract.
longest in Ferrari history, and they don't give that to the four-time world champion. That's why he announced
Steve,
his
that's funny.
departure at what wasn't it at Monza, I believe.
I don't recall what race it was,
I
but
think it
yeah.
was, and it was very ill-timed, but it was petty, and I liked it. It was very much
Hey,
so. I was like, yes,
I like the
yes, be
pettiness.
petty, my brother.
I like the pettiness.
But I'm gonna give you some facts though from a
Go ahead,
little
give me
birdie
some.
that Baraka
It's not
might
gonna
not have
ruin
known.
your information, but for the battle, because you're getting ready to battle in about a second. When you come off, Baraka's coming on. It's not gonna.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay,
It's
okay,
fine.
go
This
ahead, brother.
is
Go ahead. I
this
just
is
want to
silver
make sure I'm
bullet
being
right here.
fair, man.
So
I got you. Go ahead.
we remember that Red Bull was normally about what 18 to 20 seconds ahead of
Yes,
said
definitely,
cars on the lap. So we
definitely.
can say that afterwards, now that the asymmetrical, from a little bit of research I just did, probably added point 0.3 per lap. So on a 55 lap basis, that's about what 16 seconds. So if you start going above that 67, 70, that's about 20 seconds, 16 to 20
About
seconds, which
15.6
I
seconds. How many
do,
laps you
but
got?
I do believe that was the gap that Red Bull had and no longer has with the asymmetrical
Ooh,
vehicle.
you
So
right, bro.
just chew on that little birdie for
You
me.
right. Damn it. All right, y'all. So listen, Matt is getting ready to battle. Baraka's getting ready to battle. The last person up is going to be the person that they are going to, whoever wins out of Baraka and Matt has the battle. Kenny B Bugs, the champion. Kenny B says, wait a minute. I need to put some sauce up in it. Kenny B's coming on. Matt, Baraka, get ready for your battle. After Kenny B goes off, you're coming on. Then Kenny B is prepping for the winner of that competition. Kenny B, what you got, brother, man?
Thank you for allowing them some prep time, man. They really needed it
I
because,
got you, man.
look, this is
I'm
not
killing
easy
people out
shit to
here.
do. Look, no, this shit ain't easy.
It's not.
Look, first of all, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right?
That's what I was finna say.
So
That's
how
what I
can
was
we
finna
make
say.
it more? Dude, all the Racer X210, Gallicus, Skyhead. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Okay, but all these people in the chat, even if you don't put your picture on the face, I mean on the
Right,
screen,
you ain't got to put your picture up.
please get
Right.
in and say something.
Thank you. Thank
Okay?
you, Kenny Bugs, man. Appreciate you, brother.
All right. So this is the problem I got with what people were saying about drivers. Okay,
Okay.
Piastris. You heard all the talk about him being mild mannered and all this and all of that, and how he ain't Formula One championship material yet. But Norris makes too many mistakes and is too willing to admit his mistakes to be Formula One championship material, right?
Correct. I have heard these things.
Everybody's wrong.
Mm.
They're all dead fucking wrong.
Mm.
Because the bottom line issue is if you cannot, and Adrian Newey knows this, if you cannot match the car's attributes to the driver's best attributes, you don't stand a chance. Now, you and I have had this discussion about oversteer versus understeer,
We have.
right?
We have.
Drivers who can handle oversteer are usually going to get faster lap times than drivers who prefer understeer, because when you have understeer, you have sliding.
Correct.
We agree with
We
this,
agree
right?
with that. I agree with you on that.
Okay. So the bottom line issue is we know that Perez is actually a good fucking driver in a car with a slight bit of understeer.
Understeer. Yes.
Okay, but this is all about brains. Whose brain can make the adjustments to get away from what your brain is used to,
Accustomed to.
accustomed to? Correct. Now, you know anything about microprocessors?
Very little.
Okay, microprocessors are meant to mimic the synapses between the brain, between elements of the brain. Okay, so every 2 years we double the speed of microprocessors, right? Mm-hmm. To make them more efficient, faster, all of that, right? This is the one thing that no one gives Lewis credit for. He spends the first half of his season trying out every combination of setting on his steering wheels to get to understand what the ultimate performance in the ultimate conditions for his car. And that's why he turns it up in the second half of the season. Okay?
I agree.
If we know that only a handful of drivers have ever done that. Alonso's one of them. He's able to pick that shit up on the fly and do it, but maybe not to the same level as Lewis because he's more of a natural driver.
Yes.
Okay? But could we possibly be watching the same thing from a silent driver like Piastri?
Yeah.
Because he's been working on his tire management like nobody's business.
That's true, bro.
Okay? He has been quietly working on his craft behind closed doors while Lando is busy being the man and expecting this preferential treatment, which, let me be on the record, I don't understand why McLaren put themselves in that fucking box. Because it wasn't necessary. If it were necessary, they still did the right thing. They made Norris give up that position.
Correct.
Okay. Because he should have.
Correct.
But the second time they did it, because they did it twice in that race, the second time they did it, they didn't need to do that. Okay, and you just made your own problems.
Yeah.
Okay, you put Norris in a situation to make him question himself again. And yeah, he did do it to himself because you was living on some real shit. If you thought you should have been, I mean, yeah, you got the points lead. You got the best chance to stop Max from getting the drivers' championship. But do you really want to win it like this? Come on. Give him his win. Now the second half of the season starts. Guess what? He's going to move over for you.
Thank you.
It was dumb shit.
Thank you, bro.
It was dumb shit, okay? But he doesn't get it. Piastri does. Do you think that if Piastri didn't get that win, that he would have sulked about it?
No.
No. He'd consider it just another notch on his step to get in, because he's checking shit off.
I was about to say, he making a list. Right?
He's not making a list about people. He's checking shit off on his performance.
That's what I'm saying.
And his ability.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
This is the kind of shit that Lewis been doing all his fucking career. Piastri is quietly doing it, and he told everybody, if you think that I'm not dangerous because I'm quiet, well, that's okay. You can do that, but guess what? I'm an assassin behind the wheel.
He is.
And I don't need you to believe it. I know what I'm doing.
I'm gonna let you see it.
It's them people who know what they're doing and ain't willing to tell you about it that you need to watch out for.
Let's talk and big bite.
Let's talk and big bite. But when it comes to Adrian Newey, everybody bow the fuck down, okay? He did some illegal shit at McLaren. It was on the edge. And he did the same thing with Red Bull. It was on the edge. But I'm going to tell you like NASCAR drivers say.
What is that?
If it ain't rubbing, it ain't racing. And Formula One drivers the Formula One teams took it to the next level. And they said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't racing.
Right, you ain't writing facts, bro.
You ain't got to agree with it, and I don't, because it's bullshit.
Right.
But understand the environment that you're working in.
Understood. Facts. Kenny Bug, sit back, bro. It's battle time. It's battle time. Get ready. Get ready. All right, y'all. It's battle time. It is battle time. This is the time in F1 Minute where you get to sit back. I need you to grab your popcorn, go get your soda, your pop, your water, your juice, your drinks, your sports drink. Get your chips, your nachos. We are about to watch the prelims first. It is going to be Matt versus Baraka. The winner of that will go on to battle Kenny B champion bugs, all right? At the end of the season before, when we have the last F1 minute, we will have the final championship bout, and we will bring 2 people on that you all feel should battle in the championship bout. And this is where some of y'all need to step up, because a lot of y'all talking about y'all can do all the talk and y'all got all the points and y'all all in the comment section. You don't have to be a member of Wolfpack to come on F1 Minute. You don't have to be a subscriber to come on F1 Minute. I open this up for everybody because you know why? Haters talk a lot of shit in the comment section, but will you really put your name on it? You ain't got to put your face on screen. Just make a profile name, come on, talk and say what you got to say. Just make sure you keep it respectful, because I will hang up on your ass. All right, so right now I need Kenny B to sit tight. I need Matt and Baraka to call in right now so I can bring you brothers up. Matt and Baraka, to the stage, please. To the stage. It is game time. Let's go. Let's get it. Baraka's coming up right now to the stage. Waiting on Matt to call in and come to the stage next. Got the little salsa music coming on. Matt is on the stage. Let's go. All right, gentlemen. Here it goes right here. You're going to have your first round. I'm going to give you the topic. You're going to have to debate it whether you like it or not. You better find a point. You better find an opposing point and make it happen, all right? Then once you finish, I will stop you, okay? I will go ahead and tell you. I will give you 30 seconds. Now I'm going to give you 60 minutes. Somebody said, hold on. I think somebody said last time we should give you all about, what, a minute and a half? I think 2 minutes or something like that, I think they said. So let's go ahead and move that up. Let's give you both 2 minutes. So I'm going to start a manual clock on this side to give you both 2 minutes. I think they said 60 seconds wasn't quite enough, and I agree. I like whatever the crowd wants is what we're doing. We gladiators in this thing right now. All right, so Baraka, since you were on last, I will let you call heads or tails first. Heads is the Wolfpack side. Tails is the performance side. What do you want, brother?
I'll go heads.
Heads. It is heads. All right, so what you want to do? You want to go first or you want to defer?
I'll defer.
You're Woo! He gonna take the back end, bro.
Defense is always gravy.
He gonna take the back end. All right, Matt, the first subject up is, can Max win with the current situation? Is Max able to do more with little, or is Max the type of driver that needs a lot and he's a front runner, and if he doesn't have it, is not going to be able to do it? So, Matt, you got to go first, brother, man, because Baraka says so. And right now, your 2 minutes is about to start and go.
So we've seen in the past that Max, he's not that type of person that really wants to battle for his position. Him getting that Red Bull from these past few seasons has been his saving grace when it comes to his driving style. If you look back, I'm going to go back to 2021, right? He was always basically NASCAR rubbing somebody on track at any point in time, whether it was him coming out from the back end, from 5th onward, 6th onward, 10th onwards, which says something because those are the places he used to come up from, to battling Lewis, which he rubbed everything. He rubbed the interior trying to push Lewis off track. If you look at it, the aerodynamics that Red Bull just recently had, what did they do? I think they got rid of it, didn't it? Because they didn't understand the direction they needed to go with the car, so they went backwards. Shortly after that, the asymmetrical braking system came out, which pushed them further back, and we haven't seen Max anywhere close to the front since then. So for Max to come back up front, you need to overlook the asymmetrical braking concept, which, as we all did the math just now, is 0.3 seconds each lap, along with the aerodynamic issues. They just introduced some new aerodynamics this last race as well. They are confused now that Newey is gone. Confused aerodynamically. Still a sound base. The only thing that's saving them is they're working from a safe and a solid base. If you have a safe and a solid base, you can always reel it back a little bit and get your performance back. But as a whole, the rest of the field, they have a good solid base. They have clear direction for their upgrades and where they're going. And Red Bull is now floundering. And they're going to flounder the rest of the season. Just like Lewis said, this is going to be a hell of a rest of the season. And it definitely is.
Time. All right, Baraka, you up, man. So you heard the points. You ready? You ready, brother? All right, go.
Can Max So what was can Max still recover from this current situation going
Can
on
Max
with the car?
win with little? Can he do more, or does Max need more to do?
Well, currently, from now with Red Bull, comparing to my only comparison now is with the other garage, the other side of the garage with Sergio, and they're right now. Yes, the car is more suited to Max, but they're still both suffering some aerodynamic and the asymmetrical braking issue. And they got caught. Red Bull, FIA reeled it back. Now they're stuck in a place in which they're trying to figure it out. And I have to say is like, yes, Max is currently struggling. So is the other Red Bull car, but Max is still putting in points, while Sergio is getting knocked out in Q1 almost every other qualifying session. And he's and it's a shame that he's dancing with the likes of Haas, who's actually putting in points. Alpine, who's going through their own issues, and Williams, who, while yes, Alex is putting in points every other race, while Logan Sargent's out here crashing into the wall at other drivers. There is no shame for Sergio. He has no shame. So for Max to be struggling and still getting points in this car, while the other side of the car is flirting with the back end where it shouldn't be in the first place, even though they're aerodynamically and mechanically in a limbo in terms of the regulations. I think if they could figure it out, I think that he could possibly do it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. And I say this, luck has to be on his side, just like every other racing driver in that situation at times. But my final answer is maybe.
And it's about to be time, Baraka. That's going to be it, brother. Oh, it's time. All right, y'all got to vote in the comment section right now. He said, Jay, stop. Comment section, who got the first round, Matt or Baraka? You can vote right now. It is up. So we need to see the vote. We're going to allow the vote to stay for about 30 seconds, and then I'm going to cut it. So y'all go ahead and get your vote on right now. I'm going to cut the vote in about 30 seconds.
Can I say something right quick about
you can.
I wanted to mention what can he be with the whole Piastri v Lando thing.
Oh no! Sure you want to do that right now?
No. I'm saying I'm agreeing with him. On this.
Okay, got you. Go ahead.
So I'm putting into more context. Piastri coming into the sport, while Lando, he's been here since I think 2019, and he's seeing Charles, George, and Max. They're all within the same age range. Yes, Max was here longer, but I'm now doing the whole age thing. Charles is a multi-time winner in Ferrari. George has 2 wins. It could have been 3, but we all know what happened with Spa and that whole debacle with the one stop. And you got Max, who a three-time world champion. So he's seeing people in his age range, and it's like, crap, I am in limbo. I need to start, winning now. And it's like and he's going to any opportunity he gets, no matter how scummy he looks. So, and you got Piastri, who's just learning his ropes. But then when you look at him, it's like, there's a driver in that guy. Yes, right. He's going to be inconsistent, which is probably the most expected thing you expect out of a rookie, to be inconsistent.
Okay, right.
So I'm thinking Lando is now in a point where he's having a driver behind him that is learning his skill and doing well, and he has his age mates who are pretty comfortable right now with their teams.
Okay.
So I'm thinking he's just now basing this off as like an aw shit moment.
All right. Okay. All right, I'll tell you what. Now let's do this. You said so you agreed with what Larson had to say as far as his competing. So we already got that. We're gonna save that one. Now I'm gonna ask you this: is Perez being compromised when it comes to Max Verstappen? And Matt will be able to go first. You're gonna go second. So that is it. Is Perez being compromised? Has Perez been compromised as far as lightweight word sabotaged in regards to being Max's teammate while he's been at Red Bull? Is his performance being dampened? Matt, you will have 2 minutes to speak on that, good sir. And oh, by the way, Matt won the first round 100%. 12 people voted, and it was all. So Baraka, you right now are behind 0-1. I don't know if the deferment worked for you, but right now it's seeming not so much.
It's all good.
Go ahead.
It's all good.
Baraka, you my brother, man. Let's go. But Matt, my brother too, though. All right, let's go. Go ahead, Matt. You got it.
Perez, my boy. that bag save you every time, don't it? He
Mm.
bring a whole lot of money to that team. We don't see it on the front end, but we know that the backing that Perez brings to a team, especially the following as well in F1, the Hispanic community,
Mm.
it's gonna bring a whole lot to that team. That's a big old bag that's gonna save him. The
It is.
secondary bag that's saving him is guess who testing everything before they ship it over there to Max. It's a reason both of them cars look different, and they touched on it. I forget which race it was, but that whole rear end setup was completely different.
It
And I was
was.
just like, pardon? These supposed to be the same car, isn't it? Nah. The Perez side of the garage is the testing and tuning side of the garage, where they put the parts on and Perez be like, oh, no, it didn't work. And then it shifts over to Max for him to finalize the, yeah, mate, this didn't work, or the, okay, yeah, we can get on with it. If it doesn't pass, because if you look at it, that one, I can't remember which race it was where they had the separate packages. That package, I think it made it over onto Max's car for like one free practice, and Max told him to take that shit off. They tested it on Perez. He failed and looked horrid. They said, well, we going to test it on Max. Max, what do you think? And Max said, no, get it off of my car now. And that's really all that's happening with Perez. Perez is a good driver. He's in a bad camp. He's in a bad way where he's at. He appreciates being at the front considering where he came from. And that's really all we're seeing. It's just him trying to maximize the end of his career based
All
on where
right,
he's
Roger
at.
that. Roger that time. So we're gonna do that. Hey, Baraka, you ready, brother?
Yep.
You sure you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. We're about to go ahead and get you kicked in real quick. Let's go ahead and start this thing over, man. All right, so Baraka's getting ready to go. We're gonna get this timer going. I don't know why the hell this motherfucker won't cut off. My phone malfunction, man. Hold on.
It's Max. Max is upset.
It is Max, man. Max mad as fuck right now, man. Mad as hell. He's sabotaging our damn equipment. Goddamn. All right, Baraka.
That's
go.
why
You
he
got it.
airing his engineers out on radio like that.
Go ahead. You got it, brother.
All right. So is Checo being hindered at Red Bull? Some will say yes, some will say no. I'm in the camp where I can see both sides.
Okay.
My main issue with this is I remember the first year the ground effects rule era came in. Yes, Checo was actually on his A game. But there were races, even one on his A game, where Max did make him look like a fool at times. I equated it as like you were at your best, but you still allowed me to snatch some part of your chain from you at your best.
Oh, shit.
So it's like, okay, and then now when the car is set up to be oversteery, Checo is like, okay, is like he was doing all right that first season, and then once they figured out how they want the car to set up, there was a regression. It was like, okay, something is up, and then now he's flirting with the back. As I say, he's flirting with the back of the grid at qualifying at most times, where he should. You can have an oversteery car that you may not feel comfortable with. It is still my friend said it is still a rocket ship at times. Why are you getting knocked out of Q1? Why are you barely making out of Q2 with a quote unquote rocket ship? So I can see where they're coming from, but at the same time, when you had that advantage, you still allow Max at some races to snatch your chain at times, and there's no shame in that. You got caught lacking with your pants hanging.
Damn.
That's all I have to say.
Chain snatching, pains hanging, shit.
That
All
boy
right.
can't drive consistently. That's what that is.
Oh man! All right, y'all get the vote. The vote is up right now. Who got second round, Matt or Baraka? If this is a clean sweep for the two, Matt will be up. If it is not, they will have to go to a third. They will have to go to a third round.
Can
Good
I also
people.
say something about that season?
What you got? brother, man?
I'm still bothered with how Ferrari handled that season too. By the way,
Are you?
They ain't had no choice but to handle that season. They had
Well,
extra
yeah,
fuel
'cause
flow
I know
going
they
to
had-
the car. They ain't had no way
I
to
know they didn't have
compensate
no
for the lack
choice.
of horsepower.
Yeah, it's like they had no choice, but at the same when, you know, They had when Red Bull that engine was crapping its pants every other race. For
Yeah,
the first,
because if your car is set to have
You-
20, however mixed amount of pounds of fuel coming through it, which equals your combustion, which equals your horsepower, and now all of a sudden they say you can only have 10, and you got a big old gap.
yeah,
That gas is just literally
Flowing.
rivering, trickling through them lines that are this big. And you got a whole bunch of non-combustion happening the way you want it to, which
And
is why
it's-
they were so. Matter of fact, it's funny that you brought up Ferrari, because I just rewatched that the other night
Let's see
and watched it. It was funny, man.
Ooh, it's 1-1.
Ferrari ain't had no
1-1.
choice with that one.
it's like I know Ferrari had no choice, but it's like a part of me was like how they started the season is like that regression. It was not like slow by. It was like that fall off was quite big.
Because that's
was
a
like-
big element of
It
your
was
car to
it was a
lose
big
out
element
on.
of your car, but it was like wow, McLaren was out here crapping the bed at the start, and then you're flirting with.
They
they're-
didn't have a gas flow issue
yeah,
though.
yeah, but
Like, it's hard to change that when it comes to your innards of that motor, and you got to change all of those specs and everything. It's
yeah.
the outside of the car is a little bit easier with the aerodynamics, with the suspension. That's a little bit easier to change. When it comes to your motor, it's a little harder to backtrack.
So
All right, so
out
right
here-
now we
what
have
Benalto was
we
cooking
got
that
y'all up
season.
1-1, gentlemen. 1-1. It is 1 for Baraka, 1 for Matt. That means we are going to another round. We are going to a different round, so we're gonna have to go ahead and go to round 3. Baraka, you saved yourself. You saved yourself. This is the tiebreaker, though, brother. This is the
Yeah.
tiebreaker. So whatever happens here is going to happen. So this is the tiebreaker. Matt, be on your game. We're going to move that clock to 1 minute and 30 seconds. I feel like 1 minute and 30 might be the sweet spot. So we're going to go to 1 minute and 30 seconds, and you both will get the same amount of time. So I'm about to set that up right now. And we'll hear the bells ding, and then we will get ready to set you up. So Matt, you still are on deck first, and you are going to go ahead, and we're going to talk about, you know what? I think where do you feel Adrian Newey should go, Matt? Do you feel like just say Ferrari or Aston Martin?
Ooh.
Where do you think he should go?
We know where he need to go.
So where do you think?
He need to go to Ferrari.
Okay, all right. So you're on the Ferrari.
He need to go to Ferrari.
All right. So then, Baraka, you are on the side of him going to Aston Martin. That's the side that you're on. All right.
I guess so then.
Matt, you're going first. You're going first, Matt. Time is up. Here you go, brother. Get active.
So there's so much to gain. Not like there's nothing to gain from going to Aston Martin, but I'm gonna leave that to Baraka. Ferrari, you're gonna have an opportunity to work with Lewis Hamilton, help him get his 8th. You're gonna be able to have an opportunity to work with one of the greatest franchises on, not just only on the F1 grid, but just period in the world. Everyone knows what Ferrari is, or where Ferrari is. They have a whole movie that's called Ferrari. To be able to design a car for not only just Lewis but Charles, that dynamic is going to go down as well. It's so much more to gain from leaving the game at Ferrari, as legendary as it is, with Lewis as legendary and iconic as he is, with the team that checks all of those boxes. It would be a career-ending stoppage. I don't have, it's no more that you need than that. Personally, the car is not in a bad window because they're obviously up in the top five and up. Granted, they took a step backwards a little bit with the arrows, but that was chasing after false pretenses with Red Bull. So I'm tempted to see where they end up after this summer break, because now that nobody's going to be chasing those imaginary games from the asymmetrical braking system, it's going to be funny to see how people revert to a few specs that maybe worked.
Time. All right, Baraka, you are up next, brother. You're about to start.
Before you start, why'd you pick Ferrari, man? Why'd you pick Ferrari? It's like
Because I can't support Lance Stroll.
everyone on
Lance
Wolfpack
Stroll
knows
does not he should not be on the grid.
if Jay, you already know how my disdain for Stroll.
Yeah, I know.
You're putting me in a.
Yuki
Tsunoda need to be in Lance
there are
Stroll's
some
seat.
very
That's what
good
need to
points
be
that you
happening.
can make about Aston Martin to make a legitimate case, and that's what it's about. Can
It
you make a
is.
legitimate case? All right, go, brother.
All right. So, first off, for Ferrari, if they want him, they need to throw the bag at him. Look what Papa Show is doing. Look what Papa he's throwing everything in the kitchen sink. He got Jerry Jones off the blank money right now. And then I'm not gonna mention that son. I'm gonna talk about Alonso as divisive as he is a two-time Formula One champion. He is gonna be working with a well-regarded two-time Formula One champion who did at one point snatch some change off of Michael Schumacher in Japan. Everyone know. So you got that, and the potential of Yuki. Fingers crossed via Honda. Oh, that is a recipe for great success, in my opinion. If the cards will play out, Yuki and Alonso in that Aston Martin Honda with the aerodynamic brains of Adrian Newey, I think this could work out. And plus, Papa Show is catching Ferrari's passing down by throwing the extra bag at him. So at that point, he's following the money. He's going where he's following the green. And oddly enough, what color is Aston Martin? Think about it. It's green.
It's green.
I like that.
Not no blood red. Not no blood Enzo red. It's that top dollar green.
All right, who got the third? The vote is up. The poll is up. Vote right now. This is for the win. Matt or Baraka. Somebody's going to face Kenny Bugs. Kenny Bugs is in the back room getting warmed up. He's getting his gloves on. He's getting ready to come out to the ring. One of these gentlemen is staying. One is going. Kenny Bugs is going to come out and give a formidable opponent an opportunity to dethrone him. Right now, it is going back and forth. It is changing.
Is there any word on Drugovich at Aston Martin, by the way?
It seems like that. What is up with that, man? I'm talking about Drugovich is just sitting in the wings is crazy, man. It ought to be illegal.
Because he's like, it's like it dawned on me. He's like an F2 champion. The current system of F1 when it's with the current ladder system is all wonky, and I don't know why.
Ollie Behrman.
It's like don't. And I want to no, because what I'm leading up to is the whole the F1 being like the whole franchise NFL closed shop thing is like
it is. That's a whole other conversation with Ollie Behrman. Like, I ain't even gonna get into the conversation that one, man.
57% Matt's way. Racer X210 says, I'm saying it again, Newey is gonna waste his time. By the way, Racer X210, forgive me because I forgot your other super chat, but I got you now. Pia is on the rise. The only person standing in his way is Lando. Put a stack on it. Damn, I heard that. We got chain snatching and putting stacks on it. So at this point in time, it is sad to say, but Baraka, we will see you another day, my brother.
Y'all take care,
Matt.
Man.
Hey, you stay blessed. Come back, brother, because you know you best, man. You be running. Matt, bro, it's your game time. It's game time. Yeah, it's game time. You about to face the champ, man. How you feeling about that, man?
I'm feeling good, bro. I'm just enjoying talking F1 with y'all, man.
All right. Kenny Bugs to the stage, please. Kenny Bugs to the stage.
To be honest, that boy Baraka got some good points. I would have said it too. Ferrari, you went over it the other day. How much money that Ferrari made in a short amount of period of time with signing Lewis.
Right.
They needed to throw the bag at him. Period. And and we all know Mr. Stroll is gonna throw the bag. He's gonna throw the money because he's looking at it long term. Also, I feel like he's trying to cover up his son's non-driving ability.
Non-driving ability. Okay. All right.
So
we're about to get into.
Can I say something before we start?
Go ahead.
Y'all got it wrong with Ferrari.
Ooh, tell us, Kenny Bugs. Tell us. We always open for some knowledge, my brother. Tell us.
Before the change in regulation, there was one fuel flow meter. FIA had access to it, and all the teams had access to it.
They did.
After the fuel flow meter, which regulated basically that you could not push more than 1 liter per, what is it, 1 liter per minute, 1 liter per hour, whatever it was, okay? You could not push that past this flow meter at any time, right? Mm-hmm. What they did was they took the portion of the track that used the least amount of fuel, which is the turns, okay? And they maxed out the flow going through the flow meter and sent it through a whole bunch of fucking hoses before it could be used. So you put a delay on when that fuel actually passes from when it passes the flow meter to when it's being used. And now you've created an excess of flow when you want it on the straightaways. And that's what they did. And that's what Red Bull and Mercedes came together and said, that's got to be what they do. They're doing something. This has got to be it. There's no way they can have this kind of speed with the engine design that they got, because this was before they came up with separating the compressor from the turbo. Okay? So there was no way they could get the kind of performance they were getting unless they found a way to beat the fuel flow meter. And that's how they beat it.
Well, there we go. I hope you're ready for some of this technical jargon talk. Good, Matt.
I'm ready. I just didn't know I mean, I didn't know what the amount of like pounds of
right.
And I might be wrong with that, but that's not the point. The point is,
I know what you're talking about.
So what they did, what the remedy was, is to have two fuel flow meters, one that the teams had access to, one that the teams did not have access to, and could not bypass with a bunch of holes. Actually, they didn't bypass it the first time. After the fuel flow meter, they just stored it to exceed the fuel flow on the straightaway.
That's why they were so explosive in the straights.
Kind of like
and that's why when you go back and look at those races, everybody, folks, they're so slow coming out of the corners into the straights because they didn't have that explosiveness like you were talking about from that stored fuel. Now, I didn't know it was multiple hoses. I thought it was a bigger hose that they were able to, manipulate for it to hold on to that fuel.
That's beside the point. Whether they used a bigger hose or they used a longer hose, they found a way after the fuel flow meter to store
and then just
fuel.
like what we were talking about with Baraka afterwards, that's how they were garbage. They looked so slow.
Let's get this battle on, gentlemen. Listen, Matt is the winner. Heads, tails. Matt, you call it. What do you want, brother?
Tails.
It is heads. You got it. You got it, Kenny Bugs. You wanted the first.
Man, I'm gonna give you the option. You want to start or you want to finish?
Damn. I'm giving you
How you feeling, big dog?
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt, you starting then. I'm gonna call it. All right. So this is what we're doing. Matt said earlier that teams were chasing a ghost of performance. I would like to know if you really think that matters, Matt, or is that kind of something that might be a lightweight excuse? Is these teams chasing performance that was there really matter, or should they have been just doing what they needed to do anyway? So, Matt, you got the ball. Go.
I don't really think it's a ghost, because you got to think about it. If everybody were able to put or utilize the asymmetrical braking system, they would have found time. They would have found that 0.3 seconds per lap that we just did the math on. Now, are they still going to be behind? Yeah, because Max was winning by what, like 22, 24 seconds, however long it was, depending on the laps per whatever. The gap would not have been as big. I feel like the gap would have started off around 10, maybe to 13, and then it would have started to catch up near the end of last season. In the beginning of this season, it would have been close from the beginning, just based off of progression from last season to this season. So I don't really think that it's a ghost. I think that it was an exploitation of the rules that gave them an unfair advantage when it came to that, just like Ferrari. And I mean, that's really all I got to it. Like it just, if you give everyone the wiggle room to mess around with the asymmetrical braking, do we end up in the same place as Red Bull? How close? What difference does it make? Do we make up those 0.3 seconds per lap? Do we not? I feel like it is. It's a mechanical thing. It's not really something that's, I got to figure it out. It's brakes.
All right. This time is up. 8 seconds. We'll let it go until, if you want to say anything else, you got 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Oh, he said, okay, he said that's it. Kenny Bugs, you about to be on the clock, 1 minute, 30 seconds, my brother. Go ahead and go.
What is a dream deferred?
Shit.
Nothing.
Exactly. That's what they were chasing. They were chasing nothing because these clowns was cheating from the get-go. And
Exactly.
if you caught yourself trying to figure out where your problems, what you are doing wrong, based on a lie, you are
Mm-hmm.
chasing a ghost.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking. Okay, so this is the one thing that Mercedes had on everybody else, and even McLaren, because McLaren, nah, maybe not, because McLaren made a total overhaul with their suspension and their floor and fixed their problems mid-season last season, which is what Mercedes should have done.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't because they were listening to their number two driver saying, "Oh, we got some more performance here." Bullshit. But that's okay. They finally came to their senses and realized and listened to their number one driver and said, "Look, we need to move the seat back in the cockpit. We need to change the rear suspension, and we need to change the floor." The most important part of that was changing the rear suspension. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because by changing from a pull rod system to a push rod system, they opened up more air in the diffuser.
Time. It is going up. It is going up for debate. Who got the first round? Kenny Bugs or Matt? The poll is up right now. You will get a short amount of time to do so. So go ahead and do it right now. Get your vote in. We're waiting to give it a little bit of time to see who's going to take this first round. And then we will move into the second round. You are going to have to put your
Mm-hmm.
FIA caps on this second round right here. Oof. Looking pretty heavy. Ooh. Looking pretty down. It's going back and forth. Shit.
Yeah, Russell giving that feedback was terrible too. He still act like he the man over there too.
He do act
And
like he
then
the
when he
man.
gets caught behind, he's got to do what?
He
Go look at
quiet.
what's his
He's
telemetry.
quiet. Just like right now. What is he? Quiet. I haven't seen no T-bird
Time.
poses, no nothing from him
What we
since
got?
a
What we
few
got?
races ago.
61% Kenny Bugs, 38% Matt. Kenny Bugs got the first one. All right, there. So Matt, it is 1-0. Kenny Bugs is up. All right, next one we got is this. We got asymmetric braking. We got DOS. You are the FIA. Are you looking at these two situations the same? Are they very different? If so, how are you penalizing them? Matt, you're up first.
Hold up, hold up, hold
Oh,
up, hold up.
wait.
Stop.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What
It's
you got?
not fair if I don't go first
Okay. You want to go first?
because I got to rebuttal him.
That is true.
He needs to get the rebuttal me.
Oh, Matt, how
And,
you feel about
and if
that?
I'm wrong, Matt, please let me know.
How you feel
No,
about
I
that, Matt? Because you,
I
you got the ball
graciously
first.
and
What you want to do?
humbly accept that.
Okay, he accepts it. He accepts it. All right, let's go. Kenny Bucks is up first. Let's rock.
The two differences that you have between DOS and this bullshit brake system is, first of all, the bullshit brake system was deemed illegal with a pedal. So because you put it on a, you've come up with an engineering way to make it independent, that makes it illegal? Bullshit! Straight fucking bullshit. Let's go to DOS. The bottom line issue with DOS is you cannot introduce a change in the suspension system during the race. You have to bring the car in the garage, make a mechanical change in order to do anything that affects the suspension system. They tried that with a lever, and that's what they got hit with from the FIA. They designed this entire system with the FIA involved in it. Do you think Red Bull involved the FIA in this bullshit brake system? Hell no, because they got shot down right off the bat. Okay, but because they did, they had to rethink the whole thing, and that's why they put it in the steering column. And the minute you make it part of the steering, it is specifically written in the rules that anything has to do with steering is immune to the
Time.
aerodynamic rules.
Time.
Hmm.
Matt, you up. You ready?
Now, before I start, real quick, I'm
Oh,
gonna say that I do agree with you, Kennedy, 100%. But for
okay.
the basis of argument, I'm gonna play devil's advocate as best I possibly
I
can.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That sportsmanlike conduct. Let's go. Rock out.
All right, so to play
Be like
devil's
the
advocate-
F1. Hold on, wait. Be like the F1 teams. Lie, cheat, still do whatever you got to do to win.
So to
Go ahead.
Give him extra
When-
time, please.
Go ahead.
so when it comes to these two things, right? If you really want to be able to like try and argue it or say that there is a little bit of wiggle room where DOS kind of falls in the same place, you're both in both situations you're altering something that should not change while the car is moving. You should have to come in to change it at a base principle level, right? The DOS, you need a third lever. For the asymmetrical braking, you need another lever. So at the base principles of both of these arguments, yeah, we both found loopholes and ways about it to get around it, one more drastically than the other, and one more prominent than the other as far as gains. However, the base premise of it, we strip it down, both of it's bullshit, to be fair. Should both of it have been allowed? Nah. The fact that the FIA was involved with Mercedes, that makes me question the FIA just that much more. It's like, how did you let this slide? And then getting into the season, now all of a sudden you have a problem that you see that it's just, oh my God, they're taking away from everybody. Lewis is lapping Max Verstappen, which Max has only been lapped twice in his career and got lapped by the great Lewis Hamilton. And now Red Bull is doing the same thing. Oh my God, they're pulling so far ahead. Oh wait, oh now we see it now, Bennett. Same thing. In my personal opinion, but that's just me playing devil's advocate. I do feel like one is a little bit more dressed than the other, but if we want to strip it down to the skeleton, you know,
Damn. Hey,
skeleton
man,
in the closet,
hey,
skeleton in the closet.
I ain't gonna front, bro. You.
He might cheated and steal. He might cheat and steal it, boy.
That was good, bro. I was like, hey, that was pretty. All right, yo, y'all got to vote on that one. That was pretty good. Kenny Bugs motivate people to lie, cheat.
That's good stuff, man. Oh my God, that was hilarious.
That was good, bro. That was good. I like your point about while the shit's in motion. Oh shit!
Wow.
Yo.
I mean, it, to be honest, like to be fair, like all jokes aside, those are both two things. Like for one, the Ferrari fuel thing, that's more of a permanent control thing that's probably not going to get altered throughout the season. You're not going to alter how much fuel flow you have going into your engine.
Let me ask you a question, man. Let me ask you a question. You take all those three things: fuel flow, DOS, braking system.
Oh, you got an amazing car if you put all that in one car.
No, that's not the question. If you bring all three of them to the FIA in the off season, what do they say?
Like in ranking of worst
No,
to best, or like what? Or all three of them at
Legal
once?
or illegal. Each one of those items, if you brought each one, if those teams brought each one of those items to the FIA, then the off season, what does the FIA say to them?
You ban it all. You ever seen Harry Potter where it was what Hermione,
Really?
Ron, and
Really?
Harry always getting in
Stop.
trouble in
Stop.
It's Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes in the principal's office. What are you doing?
You said they banned them all, didn't you?
They should, yeah.
But they didn't. The one that they approved was DOS. Why?
Because it's the FIA, like I was saying,
Oh,
man. It's
oh,
the
no,
for one, like the FIA.
Wait, hold on. This is the next topic. Y'all hold tight. And Matt got first this time. Matt, you getting ready to go. So listen, Matt got that round 71% to 28, keeping him alive for a tiebreaker now. This shit, lot cheating still. Kenny Bugs, man, I think shit, you motivate people. Lot cheating still is a good thing.
Good.
It's like Vampire in Brooklyn. If you
Bring
get a
it,
piece of
goddamn
evil ass, that's
Hey,
good.
look at you, man. Come on, boy.
Hey man, look, I'm just gonna spit facts at you, my boy.
All
That's
right, here we
it.
go, Matt.
I'm just gonna spit what I know, my boy.
All right, they on the freestyle, y'all. Matt has the round
I'm
first.
mad at you, bro.
Matt is in third round. Matt, you got it. Ready, go.
Whoa.
All right, so wait, what are we talking about?
Question.
What's the topic? What's the
ahead.
question?
The question is, if you said they should ban it all, then you're explaining why. Kenny Bugs says, but they didn't. So you're going to have, Kenny Bugs is going to be rebuttaling you with that. So your ban it all statement, your stance has got to be strong because Kenny Bugs is coming on the back end with the rebuttal this time with they didn't. And so you better make a good case for them to feel like it's compelling what you said. Now it's all about flamboyant. It's all about style and flash and P9. It's about you making something feel strong to the crowd versus not.
Not you lowering it up.
This is where you stand on little ground and top. You gotta sell it, bro. You gotta sell it. This is about selling it. And you got a minute and 30 seconds now.
Yeah, you gotta lawyer it up.
Yes. Damn, you quiet 10 seconds going off
So
the clock.
the thing about it is the reason DOS I feel like made it out of that, right? We were just talking about the pieces on the car that are more permanent than others, right? The way they had the DOS system integrated into that steering column, into the into the whole balance of that car, the way that suspension system was set up was fully integrated into that, the frame and everything like that. It's not very easy to make someone change the whole frame of their car as it relates to the steering, which in turn is affecting how your car is turning. The other ones, your fuel flow, you can change that. Your brake system, you can change that. Those are both easy changes, right? We change brakes. You seem like a man that changes his own brakes. That's an easier thing to take the whole caliber and that system off and replace it, as opposed to changing my steering column and how that goes into the drivetrain and into the suspension and everything else. That's a way bigger task. So for them to make Mercedes rip their whole frame of their car apart and change it halfway through the season doesn't seem like more of a doable task and more of a targeting thing per se, especially when you've had your hand in the pot.
Damn, man. I'm gonna say something at the end. Kenny Bugs, you got it. Go.
Okay, this is the real issue here, okay? The question is, what is legal in the definition of the rulings definition of the rules, and what is not? What was deemed legal was DOS. What was deemed illegal, and because they didn't want to embarrass the teams, this braking system was deemed illegal for a second time. First time with McLaren with a pedal. And the other thing that was deemed illegal was bypassing this fuel flow management thing. It was clearly deemed illegal, but they felt they didn't want to bury Ferrari, so they came up with another directive again. The mid-season directives are meant to save the teams, except for one, the one they came up with for Mercedes, to stop changing the engine settings on their car, which was bullshit, but we ain't gonna get into that. DOS was legal because it was something that could change the toe of the tires. And the only performance advantage that you got was you were able to get the tires, the front tires, into racing temperature a lot sooner than everyone else. Now, the idea of having a system.
Time. Y'all can talk about that on back end. Matt, hold on.
I don't really know about that one.
Hold on. We gotta start the poll. All right. They got some time.
Okay.
They got some time.
Let's
Y'all
start
can
the
talk
poll.
about it. Go ahead.
Cause you're not really just getting the tire, right? When we looked at that, he was able to change the camber the end, right? So exactly. But you not only just getting your tires heated up and warmed up and getting that temperature right. When you are going into a corner dive and you got your tires being able to come in, you getting a different type of grip from the outer side of those tires. It's just like when you look at a motorcycle, the dip and everything.
No, you're not. The outside tire always has more grip. We found that out from the braking system. Well, actually, the braking system is the opposite. The inside tire gets more grip. Okay, but
now when you're able to change the position of them tires, where is more your grip coming from? Especially if you coming around and sweep and turn, you're able to control.
You're not using DOS for that. You're using it in the warm up phase.
I will say this though. I will say this.
Temperature on the tires.
Hold on. I will say this. It is true in racing. If you want to get more grip or track faster in a straighter line, you will toe in some to keep that car more controlled in a straighter line. That it is a steering effect more also as much as it is a heel
Again.
And you were also able to look at that when Lewis was going through those turns.
Crazy.
He would pull the steering wheel and it would camber those wheels inward going through the turn.
Hold on.
And
Don't say nothing else. Hold on, wait. Y'all might not want to say nothing else. Hold on. Don't say nothing else because I'm finna let y'all know right now that is the thing's finna be off. But stopping the time. Oh man, okay, y'all continue, man. It was a day. It's 53%. Matt beats Kenny B by 7%, bro. This is the first time Kenny B's been beaten. But guess what? I gotta do this right now. Y'all gotta get this one off. I'm giving you a minute 30 seconds to say what you gotta say, Matt. Because this shit right here was good. We getting the extra round, y'all. We getting the extra round. Matt, go.
So Matt is the winner. Period.
No. Yes, Matt is the winner.
I'm saying that.
Yes.
So
yes.
Like when you have when if you look at it, when Lewis would come into those turns, those wheels would camber in. He was able to hug that corner so well, and when he came out of it, his exit was just great. If like when you go back and really look at the steering wheel and how he maneuvered that car when he did pull in, when he did push in, and when those wheels did angle out or come in, it was such a impact on how you came into and exited the corner as far as traction and gaining speed. It was ridiculous because now granted they weren't doing a top camber, right? They weren't doing a that way, right? Which would have been crazy as well. But
that is camber, the other is toe.
Right, yeah. But the fact that you were able to point your wheels in like this going through that turn is ridiculous. Or bring them back outwards a little bit. It just brings so much more grip and hug on your turns, and then it's just wild, man. Granted, you are right about the keeping the tires in a great window, but keeping the tires in a great window and everything like that too. But it also adds to your cornering ability as well as a driver. Like it adds a really big layer to it as well, along with what you said.
All right, so he got 13 more seconds, but you can go ahead and go, Kenny B. I'm starting your time right now.
What bullshit. Look, this is what everybody said about Max Verstappen with this new regulation. Look at his steering wheel. He barely moves it. There's no movement. He is so clean in and out of the turns. Now we know why.
Yeah.
He had an aid. So the question is, did Das give Lewis an aid in turning? And this is my argument. No, because when you are turning, you need stability in both wheels. Both wheels need to make contact and good contact with the surface. If one is creating more contact, more load, the other one is scrubbing, which is slowing you down. That's why they chose to put that braking system on the rear tire to drag them into the turn and not cause themselves to slow down so much. Okay? So the bottom line issue is Das had no performance advantage other than the fact that it got their tires in racing temperature a lot quicker than everybody else's. It's not a problem that they had that advantage over the other teams because the bottom line issue is they did it within the regulations. Fact. No one else has been trying to do anything and make sure it was legal in advance. Everybody just does shit quietly and hope that they can get away with it. And then when they find out, oh no. See, if they had done it beforehand, they'd have been told by the FAA, no, that's not legal. If you can come up with another way of doing it, okay, yeah, that might work. Like Mercedes did with Das. And when they came back at Mercedes and told them, no, that's illegal, that's a lever that is changing the suspension, something in the suspension while you're driving, Mercedes said, okay, well, the only other thing that can bypass that is making it part of the steering.
Hold on, Kenny B, hold on. Baraka, do you got something you want to say on this?
Rules.
You got something you want to say on this, Baraka?
Nah, let them cook.
Okay.
Let them cook.
Right, so
let them cook.
Let them cook. Wait, we gonna cook again. Hold on, listen. Matt, congratulations.
No, I want to hear what Baraka got to say about this.
I don't think Baraka got nothing to say about this.
Baraka
was saying that he would prefer to deal with NASCAR race control. No, Formula One race control versus NASCAR race control. That's what
Can I
Barack is
ask
saying.
a question?
Go ahead.
Formula One is all about creating innovation for performance purposes.
Correct.
We all agree with that. Do we all
do
agree
agree.
with that?
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yep.
Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. Was
I
Doc...
do disagree with you about them tires and that camber, but
Okay, that's cool.
I'm want you to
Does
get back with me on
Doc
that one with the
create
elementary
a
with the car.
performance advantage?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
Matt?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Was the primary advantage getting the tires in racing temperature leading up to a restart?
Yes.
Oh, I already told you how I feel about
It
that.
was.
It's two things on that.
Was the primary reason for DAS to get the tires in racing temperature before restart or before start?
I concur.
I can somewhat agree. I don't fully
Okay,
agree with
that
that.
would mean
I don't agree with
what you were saying was
I
a
just-
secondary
I don't-
occurrence if we agree with you, right or wrong.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay, Baraka?
I'm in that camp too.
You at least follow me, right?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Okay, so we know that that Formula One is trying to get rid of heating blankets. We know this, right?
Yes.
Yes, Lord, I don't know why.
Yeah, you do. They're trying to be more green.
Yeah.
They're trying to use less electricity. So
Yeah.
you come up with a better
Yeah.
way of heating up the tires and getting them in the racing temperature without using the heating blankets. That's what they're all for, right?
Yeah, but we got a couple of things with that's wrong. Weather.
Okay,
and
hold on, this
cold
what I- hold on, this what I am gonna say. Go ahead.
The thing is,
Go ahead.
9 teams voted against DOS, which will give them all the same advantage with the front tires getting the temperature up to racing the front tires up to racing temperature on a restart or a start. In replacement of the heating blankets on the front tires. So why would you shoot that shit down?
You know why?
Because it gave Mercedes an advantage and they would have had to spend a whole lot of money to come up with their own system or pay Mercedes to get theirs.
Right.
It
Question
was
on
for
that.
personal gain.
What's up, Baraka?
Do you think once the tire blankets come on, do you think the topic of DOS would come back and have it like a synonymous, like
Kind of
each-
like the
Wouldn't
front
that be
hardware on the
irony?
front wing did come back. They banned the
nah.
front hardware on the wing, but then they brought it back. So that's a good question.
Wouldn't that be some irony?
That would be some
it
wild
would
shit.
be some irony. But
That
now,
would
like
be.
instead of like teams develop, I'm saying instead of like each team develop their own, let it be like a spec part, like they
Okay, see,
Or
and
something
that's
like
what people don't understand. Do we all understand that the safety barriers on the side of the cars are all
Made
supplied
by Red
by Red Bull?
Facts, bro.
Yeah.
Side impact structures by Red Bull.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
I
who
don't
developing
feel
this?
like-
shit?
And did
I don't feel like DOS
Get
is
the
gonna come back.
CEO.
Like, it's not.
Hold on, Matt said he don't. Hold on, Kenny Buck. Hold on, let him say it. Let him say why you don't feel like DOS can come back.
Because for one, you're gonna get into just like we said, Mercedes already perfected it. We saw what they did with it when they had it. You think they don't still have that in the factory somewhere to be improved upon? You know what I mean? So for them to be able to just go in the closet, just like you go and grab your old N64 and bust it back out, like
So Red Bull's
with-
using a
with-
special side impact
with
structure different than everybody else's?
That's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say, bro. If they bring it back as a spec part, it's general for everybody. It's you know, it is what it is. I mean, think about it. Listen, I'm gonna say
it's gonna
this.
create that unfair advantage.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
you already
am
had
I all
that.
for? Am I all for it coming back? Yeah, absolutely. But like trying to stay subjective and stay neutral with it.
Ain't nothing neutral though, bro. Think about it. The rear wing situation. Aston created a rear wing where they basically incorporated end plates, but it was all one structure. Red
Yeah.
Bull, the two beam wings are meant to be two structures, but act as
But
one
see,
surface, and they separate. So it's
That's
never
what it's gonna
be-
open the. That's what it's gonna open the door for.
Yeah,
You
but it's
bring
for
back DOS,
everybody.
then it's gonna be like, all right, well, what about our this? Well, what about our that? Well, what about that? Then we got to go through all of the illegal
Hold
parts
up.
that each team has
Hold on,
introduced
let
that gave
Kenny
them a
Buzz go.
Hold
Go
on.
significant
ahead, Kenny Buzz.
advantage.
Kenny Buzz, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is what I'm trying to get you to understand, okay? The CEO of McLaren then came out and said teams got too much goddamn power because they vote for what's best for their team and against anything that could hurt them. And that's wrong for the sport. It's about doing what's right for the sport. If Formula One is about innovation, Formula One came up with ABS. Formula One came up with the independent suspension. Formula One came up with the computerized suspension. They came up with so many different things. Okay, you cannot just kill innovation because it goes because you didn't figure it out first.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
agree.
agree.
too.
I don't disagree with you. I just feel, and I know what's gonna. If you bring one aspect of something back, then it's
Really?
gonna raise the curtain for other people
Okay.
to come to the
Let's
to at
entertain
least
that
come to the
statement right
platform and be
here.
like, okay, well,
Let's
if you
entertain
can
that
use
one
that, that's
statement
illegal.
right
What about
there.
mine?
Okay,
So I mean, that,
let's stay focused on that one statement you just said. If you entertain bringing something back, it opens Pandora's box. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, and I mean,
No.
agree or disagree? Would it not?
Like the current aerodynamic specs, huh?
Yeah,
I knew he was finna go there.
Yeah.
I knew he was finna go there. I seen that setup coming a mile away, bro.
Lord, that bullshit in the 80s. You know why? Because the skirts kept wearing the fuck out. They lost the seal on the edge of the floors, and the cars were crashing into the guardrails.
they were.
And then also you got Lotus. Was it Lotus at the time?
I think it was.
It was Lotus.
It was Lotus that had
Lotus.
the side
Lotus's
curtain.
version of that was.
They came up with it.
They
They
came up
did.
with. I think for them it was just too perfect for the sport. In a
No.
way.
It wasn't too perfect.
It was
As
ahead
the
of its
race
time,
went
is what it
on,
was.
the skirts were down,
Yeah.
Right,
and they lost the downforce, and the drivers didn't know it.
right.
And you hit that turn at the same speed you're used to,
you
all of a
don't
sudden
have-
you have no downforce, and you're off the track.
Right, you're off the track. That's correct.
And then what they first came up with was a fucking skirt that was on springs.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Right.
It was on springs,
Okay.
and that got immediately like
and
cut.
and it wasn't enough.
Nah, it wasn't.
And what they changed in the new regulation is, okay, instead of the sealing the floor with a skirt, now that we know more about aerodynamics, we're going to seal it with turbulence around the edge of the floor.
Which is why everybody has their unique pieces.
And-
All right, listen, y'all, listen, brothers. I got a baby to touch.
Oh,
on.
no. This
Hold on, Kenny Bug. Listen, I got
Kenny P.
father
ready to go,
duties
cuz.
to take care of, man. I'm finna go tuck this baby in. We gonna be back with this again. This was absolutely awesome. We coming back, and we gonna bring it back to.
Do you think we're gonna talk about the topic I brought up?
Okay,
earlier?
listen, yeah, hold on. Matt is. Hold on, Matt is the winner. Kenny Buzz, we're gonna bring this back, but
but you gonna eat some more tonight.
out of respect, Baraka, say what you gotta say.
So the reason I'm back up here because I thought when you guys were done, I was gonna have a little like 2-second rant about race direction.
You
No,
got
this was better.
Yeah. So if you look at the past two, for those who are knowledgeable in American racing, we have a sport called NASCAR, and they have a system. They have a system in which it's gimmicky when you look at it, playoff, stage points, all that stuff, gimmicky. My rant is how they handle the races themselves, and we in F1 we talk about inconsistencies of how they punish drivers for or anything, or how they throw out a yellow or and all that. My issue with NASCAR right now, one race, a car could be smack dab stuck in the back straight of a track at Indy, but it takes 30. Someone counted. It took 38 seconds for Kyle Larson and Ryan Blaney to cross the finish, to the point a yellow flag would mean absolutely FA. But then you got today. What happened? Martin Truex, a slight tap of his bumper hit the wall. Not even a 0.1 second later, a caution was thrown out, nearly costing Tyler Reddick. First off, shout out to him for winning. Shout out to Michael Jordan's 23-11 for getting their second win of the season and all that. The McDonald's curse is broken. My issue right now is why is there so much inconsistencies in which they're throwing the caution, nearly screwing up a driver, trying to so they can have this gimmicky restart, so they can say, "Oh my God, look how close this finish was."
Would you like an answer?
Yeah, Kenny Buzz, go ahead.
That's the crows coming home to roost.
Yeah, it's
Coming home to roost. Look, rubbing is racing. When you start that kind of bullshit, there is no line. The line doesn't exist. Fuck blurry, there is no line. So they can do all this rubbing and knocking motherfuckers around and all this and all of that. We know when that shit started in the 50s and the 60s when who started racing?
Petty, was it?
I think you're gonna talk Willie T.
Or T? One of the I can't
Richard
remember.
Pryor?
Who?
Richard Pryor?
No.
Y'all seen the movie with Richard Pryor and Pam Grier? Stop playing!
Oh, with damn, what's the dude's name?
Oh,
Yeah, I
no.
know the movie you're talking about.
He got
I know
me
the
on
movie
that
you're talking
one.
about. I know the movie you're talking
no,
about.
I'm
He brought it
blanking on
back
that
with an
one.
old school movie. Go ahead.
All
Yeah, he got
the
me on that
bullshit. Every excuse you can think of knocking another motherfucker off the goddamn track. And it still goes on to this day. And they try and think of all these rules and regulations. Oh, you shouldn't do this. Oh, you should. Oh, you can bump as long as you do it this way and you do it that way. And bullshit.
And my issue with that is
And now
sometimes
shit has bled off into Formula One with these goddamn, what do you call them? These former race drivers who look at all the incidents and shit. It's bullshit.
Right,
Yeah.
the stewards.
The stewards. It's bullshit because they bring their own decision making, that their opinions that they have before the race even starts, instead of accountable for your action. When you say if you cause contact with somebody else, you're responsible. Guess what? It doesn't matter what the conditions are. You caused that contact.
True. But I get your point. I see that. My issue is not even the whole rubbing racing, the whole bump and run, or what I don't know.
The whole
Dylan did.
conversation started with a bump.
Bumping. Yeah.
So what is your main concern, bro?
My main concern is the inconsistent, like from like the whole like the whole concept, but then also caution. How they deal with the there's races depending on who's leading, and I've noticed that depending on who's leading, sometimes they will throw a caution, smack that the quickest, much faster than Usain Bolt's breaking that record. And then there's gonna be times at Indy where it took them 38 seconds, and they never threw the caution.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think the best judge of an incident is a racer?
I think
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
Not if you let a racer interpret the rules.
Hell no.
Yeah, they'll yeah.
Because that's going to be subjective to how I race.
Right.
I don't care how you race.
I feel.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna be like,
I get it.
I probably would have did that right there. That looked about right. I would have probably threw my.
How he feels in a race car.
Right.
Yeah, but like a car was like in
How is
Indy.
that
What's
subjective? Max Verstappen started his career disagreeing with Charlie White. If Charlie White hadn't died when he did, Max Verstappen would have been fined, not just fined, but he'd have been suspended because they called his ass in at the end of that season. And they told, matter of fact, that crash in Azerbaijan with Daniel, Max White called him in and told him, oh no, your driving tactics ain't gonna make it here because you're a dangerous driver. We got firm rules on what we allow and don't allow, and that shit ain't gonna work.
Hey,
But then what can you say when a car?
If you think I'm lying, look back at the replay races before Charlie Whiting died, and you will hear them talking about it.
But okay,
He had major issues with Max Verstappen's driving tactics.
I mean, you're not wrong, cause
You're
like
not.
for real,
No, I
for real,
completely
All
agree
right,
with
hold
you.
on. Listen, we gonna table this. We coming back to it. I'm finna go ahead. I will see you brothers again. Hold on, Baraka, Kenny Bugs. Did we doing this shit again? Because everybody loves it, and I absolutely fucking enjoy it. So we gonna do this again. Kenny Bugs. Hey, first time I ever seen you beat, but it's not the last time. And you know what? I gotta give Kenny Bugs some props because he motivated Matt to get off his ass and like, hey, you gonna have to come with that shit if you want to take some shit from me, chain snatching. So Kenny
I don't have a
Bugs.
problem with losing.
I know you don't. I know you don't.
At some point in time in
Kenny
our
Bugs
life.
invites you because he gotta eat like shit. You gonna raise my game up, shit. I'm ready for
I
this
will
shit.
I will
So,
say this real quick. We team LeBron around here.
oh, all right, I'm out on y'all. Oh shit. Hey, Baraka said I'm out on that fucking note. Oh my gosh. All right, Baraka, we sliding out, man. Oh my goodness. Brother said, yo, hey, y'all, this was absolutely epic. We are coming back again with a panel like this again to have conversations post the battle. This shit was crazy. Big shout out to Gregory. My interview with Willie T. Ribbs, the legend, was absolutely fucking awesome. Enjoyed it for real, for real. We will be doing it again. I talked to Willie T, text him. We text back and forth. So still in contact. We're gonna see how that goes. Listen, y'all. I listen. I gotta go. Hey, I gotta go tuck my little one in the bed, man. It's been absolutely awesome. But we will see y'all again on another F1 Minute Performance Talk. We will be doing all that. Please, we will be here this weekend for qualifying, hopefully, and the race. So don't forget to join us there. Peace and love. I will see you all soon. We are out. Peace.